Sometimes the most fascinating stories are hidden in the most unlikely places, like, say, a local plumber's website. Today, we're going to look at one company's intimate knowledge of Hialeah Gardens, Florida, and use it as a window into this really big idea: how the very ground a city is built on can shape the daily lives of everyone who lives there. Okay, let's dive right in. We spend so much time worrying about things like storms or wind, right? But what if the most relentless, destructive force is actually something silent, something you can't even see? Well, in places like South Florida, the geography itself is waging this slow, constant war against our homes. All right, so let's start with the basic idea here. We're going to explore exactly how the unique environmental factors of one specific place, Hialeah Gardens, create a totally predictable and really challenging set of plumbing problems. Seriously, think about it for a second. What comes to mind? Termites? Maybe old wiring? A leaky roof? Well, for a lot of homeowners, the real answer is something way more fundamental. That's right. The geology, the water, the soil itself, this stuff isn't just a passive foundation for your house. Nope. It's an active participant, interacting with your home's pipes and infrastructure every single day. And this is what's so interesting. It shows that plumbing isn't just about pipes. It's about place. So let's see exactly how this plays out for the folks in Hialeah Gardens. This area has what you could pretty much call a perfect storm of conditions that are just incredibly tough on plumbing systems. It's this messy combination of geology and, well, history. Okay, so these 5 things basically all gang up on your plumbing. You've got this porous limestone bedrock that can shift, a high water table that makes the ground settle, and then you've got acidic soil that literally eats away at pipes. And as if that's not enough, you've got hard water clogging everything from the inside out, and this aging system of clay pipes from the 70s and 80s that are just getting old and brittle. It's a battle on multiple fronts, for sure. Let's just focus on hard water for a second, because you hear that term a lot. The water here comes from the Biscayne Aquifer, and it is packed with minerals like calcium and magnesium. So what happens? It creates this rock-like scale that builds up inside of, well, everything. It slowly strangles your pipes, clogs your shower heads, and seriously shortens the life of your water heater and your dishwasher. So here's the really crucial part: understanding how these big, slow-moving environmental issues turn into those sudden catastrophic failures that every homeowner dreads. It's all about the chain reaction. I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the whole situation. It's not really a matter of if a problem is going to happen, it's just a matter of when. The entire infrastructure is under this relentless pressure from the natural world it was built in. And here is a perfect textbook example of that cascade effect. It starts small. The ground shifts just a tiny bit, creating an invisible crack in an old clay sewer pipe. Then, the roots of a big ficus tree nearby, searching for water, find their way inside. They just grow and grow into this huge, dense mass. And that's when you start to notice your drains are slow, you hear that gurgling sound, and before you know it, boom, you've got a massive sewage backup. A tiny crack turns into a huge, expensive mess. And these are the warning signs that your pipes are losing that war. A weird hotspot on your floor could mean a hot water line is leaking under your foundation. A sudden jump in your water bill? Probably a hidden leak somewhere. These aren't just little annoyances. They are distress signals from an underground system that's under serious stress. But here's the good news. Technology has really evolved to meet these specific challenges. You see, plumbers working in an environment like this can't just show up with a wrench and start guessing. They need some seriously sophisticated tools to figure out what's going on. Think about how it used to be. In the past, finding a leak under a concrete slab meant just breaking up the floor with a jackhammer until you found it. It was incredibly destructive and super expensive. But now, a plumber can feed a tiny camera into the pipes to see exactly what's wrong, or use electronic gear to pinpoint the precise location of a leak. It's the difference between using a sledgehammer and a surgeon's scalpel. Okay, so knowing all of this, what should you expect when you actually have to pick up the phone and call a professional in a place this challenging? Well, one word becomes really, really important: transparency. So let's quickly break down the costs. Sure, you've got the hourly rate, and that can change a lot, especially if it's an emergency call in the middle of the night. But then you've got these other costs you might not even think about, like permit fees that the county requires for certain jobs. But honestly, the most important part is that last line: a detailed written estimate. In a place with so many potential curveballs, knowing exactly what you're paying for upfront isn't just nice, it's non-negotiable. And that really brings us to our final thought here. Most of us, and I mean almost all of us, never really think about what's happening just a few feet beneath our floors. This deep dive into Hialeah Gardens really shows us that our homes are just one small part of a much, much larger environmental system. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What unique story is the ground telling right under your own home?